Hello, I'm Simulated Erk. Welcome to episode number 3 of Simulated Erk Euro Truck Simulator number 2. So let's get into the game and we'll continue our journeys. Euro Truck Simulator 2, there is an American version which we'll be trying at some later stage, but let's go and get a job. We're currently in Glasgow. We've explored 3% of the world so far. So we last left you in Glasgow, so let's head down to Glasgow and see what loads we have. Okay, in Glasgow we has 8 tons of maple syrup to Aberdeen, a reservoir tank to Carlisle, precast stairs to Carlisle, sand to Carlisle, a reservoir tank to Carlisle, peas to Carlisle. So let's go for some precast stairs. Hang on, that's not the job, hang on, stand by. Precast stairs, Glasgow to Carlisle. Short trip, and then we'll see where we can go from there. Very early in the morning. Okay. Let's go. So yeah, we'll take our time going around the yard. So about 3 hours driving. Couple of cars that way. What have we got? And a truck. Here we go. Nice and early in the morning. Speed camera ahead. We'll have a look at our load when we get into a bit more daylight, just towards the end of the load. It started to rain. It's interesting. And I forgot what button it is for wipers. Now, logically, you would think it'd be W for wipers. But that doesn't ring a bell. And of course, what you have to remember as well is in different countries, we call different things. So, just because I call them windscreen wipers in Australia doesn't necessarily mean that they are windscreen wipers anywhere else. It's not really restricting my visibility much. Got services in 200 meters. Might just pull in. And try and remember what key. Don't actually need fuel. Let's say W for wipers. No, not W for wipers. L for lights. P for wipers. Okay. How do we figure that? Somehow we do. Somehow it's P for wipers. Now it says you can take rest stops. I don't know how to do that. Alright, so we're going to shut down the engine. Press the following key to rest. Enter. You are getting some rest. Wow, we certainly did get some rest. No, I didn't mean to rest again. Wow, I'm going to be late now. I'm so rested. Turn our wipers off because it's not raining anymore. That took a lot longer than it should have because I didn't know what keys to press. But I did unlock an achievement, so there we go. Now if I'm not late, I'll never know. 69 miles to go, an hour and 48 before we deliver. Now they've got a Euro Truck Simulator, which is this one, American Truck Simulator. But wouldn't it be cool if there was an Australian Truck Simulator? I doubt there is, but that'd be so cool. At some stage I will do the American Simulator, but not now. We've got 450 miles to empty, and we've only got 53 miles to go before the end of the trip, so no need to fill up. Now I must point out, for anybody new watching, I don't drive a truck in real life, and that's the whole idea of my Simulated Erk channel, is to do a lot of things that I wouldn't, that I wouldn't necessarily do or be able to do in the real world. Well, so we're off to Carlisle, centre lane, that's good. I've been to Liverpool, I've been to Edinburgh. I'm not sure if I would have been through Carlisle on my way to any of those other places. Like, I've been to England twice, in 2014 and in 2011, so I've done a lot of driving around there. Ah, there we go. I thought my headlights didn't look very bright compared to everybody else's. There we go. So I'm 25 minutes out now. Carlisle left lane. So we're 15 minutes out, so we're not far away. Oh, 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 oh. So we're only about 5 miles out now from our destination in Carlisle. Just before 1 AM Sunday morning. Okay, so we're not far off now. We're about a minute out from our destination. On the left. I've hit the fence on the way in. I want to get a photo. Nothing really special there, so we won't worry about that. And we are here. I'm late, no surprise there. I was 13 hours late because I had 2 rest stops instead of 1. Or I should have really had any rest stops, but there we go. So let's have a look at our job market again. We'll take a quick job. We are in Carlisle. Aberdeen, Amsterdam, 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 Carlisle. Here we go. So we've got roof tiles to Birmingham, some tractors to Birmingham, a reservoir tank over to Germany or Denmark. No, Germany. I was right the first time. Carlisle to Hanover for some more panels. Empty pallets. Low bed semi-trailers to Manchester. Copper-proof gutters to Carlisle. Dry milk to Rotterdam. Where do we want to go? Take some tractors. Quick job. Quick job's a good job. So we're going to take some tractors. Let's have a look at our load. Oh yeah, this is alright. We'll get in the truck. There we go. Now we'll go outside and we'll take a photo. Alright, let's get in the truck. Alright, I'm a bit tangled here. Here we go. Let's go. 214 miles, 5.5 hours. Nice news, Kenya. Or new to me, anyway. Nothing that way. Nothing that way. Nothing that way. Let's go. It's certainly got a different sound to it than the last truck I was in. So we're due just before 7 AM on Sunday, going on now to the M6. Now, I was watching a squirrel video the other day about Euro Truck Simulator, and he said that you can indicate, you don't lose any points if you don't, or if you do it incorrectly. I don't think I will at this stage, but it's interesting that you can get penalised, for instance, if you don't have your headlights on, but failing to indicate's okay. Looks like we've got some road work coming up. Now this is where I'm not super with British geography. I'm presuming I'm heading towards Liverpool, Birmingham, Liverpool, and not necessarily Manchester or Newcastle. And I don't think that every truck driver would be expected to know every place that they'd go, hence the maps, or in these days sat nav. I wonder if you could actually turn the sat nav on so it would talk to you, because I think that'd be cool actually. You can have it turned on so it would talk, even though, yeah, it's right in front of you, but speed camera is coming up. Oh, there goes a train, look. A short train over the bridge. So we're now expected in just before 6:30 on Sunday morning. About 3¼ hours. I think I'd suck as a truck driver in real life, that's why I don't want to be one. That's why I'd rather simulate it. The good truckies make it look easy. I know there's a whole heap of truckers who do podcasts. Haven't listened to any for a while, but I certainly did get the feeling of being along with them as they were driving around. Ah, Birmingham, right lane, okay. The signage in this game is pretty good. I don't know necessarily how true to life it is, but it is pretty... Okay, so Birmingham, middle lane. It's lucky that they tell us just to go to Birmingham and not some suburb of Birmingham. Just like here in Sydney, Australia, where I'm from. You can come to Sydney, but there's lots of different suburbs. So you might be, for instance, going to St Peters or Cooks River or one of the other container terminals or something like that. So if you're coming from interstate, you'd have to follow the signs to Sydney. And then when you get a bit closer, follow the signs and the sat nav, etc., for where you're actually going. But once you're a regular and you get to know where, you know, especially if you're driving for a big company, like a regular trucking company, you'd get to know after a while where your depots are in your big cities, here in Australia at least. I can imagine there'd be some truckers who would like this game so that they can drive different trucks and in different areas of the world that they wouldn't normally drive trucks, but then again, I can see others that go, nah, driving my truck in real life's bad enough without driving a simulated truck as well. And that's the same in my industry. I'm a train driver by career, so, and it's the same sort of thing. I don't mind having a go on the simulators and that sort of, and train simulator and whatnot. Where you get others, they just want to do their job and go home. They don't want to see a train when they get home. So I'm 70 miles out, almost 69 miles out. I probably even shouldn't be in the middle lane. I know that's a thing that gets a lot of people upset when they're out driving, is having, you know, vehicles in the fast lane who aren't necessarily going fast, or when, you know, there's two trucks going down the highway and instead of being one behind the other, they're next to each other for a long time. No, that upsets a lot of people. And so I can use my experience as a car driver to think, what annoys me when I'm out driving, and try not to do that as a truck driver here. But I also know it's a very, very difficult job, and sometimes car drivers make things a lot harder for the truckies than they need to. See, when I started this trip, my ETA was about 10 to 7 Sunday morning. Now my ETA is about 10 to 6. So I wouldn't say that I've made up time, but I have saved about an hour off my original ETA so far. Sounds like I'm driving a diesel train. Where are we going? So looking for Birmingham. Birmingham Centre Lane. We could almost turn off here and go to Sheffield, which is where I originally started this game. Whoops. Easy, Tiger. So I'm 29 miles out now. So as I'm getting closer to Birmingham, the other destinations are changing. Birmingham left lane, so signs, starting to get signs for London now. Oh, hang on, Birmingham this way. Birmingham left lane. Another thing that I don't like, that I don't think I'd like, is driving a manual truck. A manual transmission truck. So we're 8 miles away. 8 miles away now. Can you imagine? And I don't know what the system's like now for a new driver here in Sydney, where I'm from. But imagine if you had to actually drive one of these trucks in a simulator as part of your licensing. Birmingham. Got a turn up here. And Birmingham discovered. We'll see if we can get a photo before we dump the load. It's pretty dark still, we won't worry about it. And another safe delivery. Excellent. Almost at level 4. And we're on time. We didn't break anything. And it was excellent. So now we're in Birmingham. So let's see, where can we go from Birmingham? Birmingham. A reservoir tank to Amsterdam. Oh! A low bed semi-trailer to Calais in France. That sounds interesting. Wood slaves to Germany. Back to Glasgow, Hamburg, Hanover. Tractors to London. Well, we just did tractors. Iron pipes to Rotterdam. Sawdust to Rotterdam. Let's go to Calais. I think this means we can unlock an achievement by going on the train, but the Channel Tunnel. So we'll do this job and then we'll end the episode, I think. Alright. aren't we supposed to get a truck through there? This is where I'm not very good still. How did I get through that without breaking anything? See, and I don't know all the ins and outs of these places yet. Come on, Mr. Car Driver. Let's go. Oh, I gotta go now. I'm over the line. So 8 hours to go, just under 8 hours to go. $269 Ks to go. But how good does that sunrise look? So initially I have to head towards London. So initially I have to head towards London and then head further south towards Dover. I actually wanted to do the trip in the car from Dover to Calais, but A, I didn't have time, and B, I don't think my rental car was allowed to go to France. Still heading towards London. Not a lot of traffic on the road, even considering it is a get in your lane, dude. Me, that is. Considering it is a Sunday. London left lane. The M1, I'm pretty sure I've driven on the M1. I wonder if they'd want us to go on the M25 and totally avoid London. got a good range of cars in the game. Oops. Ah! I press the wrong button. The wrong joystick button. Oh, Southampton. Could be going through Southampton, I guess, to go to Calais. I was mainly thinking of Dover. I still got 5.5 hours, but I'm presuming that includes the, not sure if I'm using a train or a ship. I guess I'll find out when I get there. I'm not sure if I'm heading towards Southampton or London here, so sat nav's not being helpful. London. I would have liked a little bit more warning about that on the sat nav. Then again, I have got it ultra zoomed in. So we're on the M25. I've definitely driven on the M25 in real life. So now we're heading towards Cambridge. Moved again. What the? Ah! So I just have to bump the cord towards my mouse. Am I heading towards Cambridge or London? Towards London. Which is funny because the M25 basically skirts around London in an orbital fashion to avoid the centre of London itself. Ah, now I'm seeing signs for Dover. But I'll follow the sat-nav, although that did get me into trouble in an earlier episode. Also following the road signs also helped me in a previous episode as well. Am I heading to Dover or Southampton or Little Help? Sat-nav? Dover it is. still got 100 miles to go and 3.5 hours, but that's including the Channel Tunnel. We're gonna have a drinking game every time I pass the speed camera. Have a drink. Well, you get well and truly drunk on the English side. Oh look, I can indicate. It says I need to rest soon. But I'm 3 hours out, and some of that's on a ferry and or on a train, so that should include as my rest time, I think. Now you see on the left hand side in the nav window, the bed started to light up. So we'll head towards the Dover ship, unless the sat nav has any ideas for me. I am going over. Somehow I don't think the signs are totally right, but hey. Getting overtaken by another truck here. It's very pretty around Dover. I've been there. Alright, we're in Dover. There's a ship. Dover discovered. Oh, have I gone the wrong way? I think I have. Oh, the sat nav didn't say to turn in or anything. Let's see what I can do. Not bump the mouse would be a good start. by the signs for ferries. Oops, I've gone out. What? There wasn't even a vehicle there. Where do I go? I don't know where I have to go. I guess I have to go over that ferry. Ah, here we go. So I'm not going on the train at all. Over to Calais. So one? Nah. Calais discovered. Now I've got to remember to drive on the right. here we are in Calais. Alright, quick photo time. Photo studio. And we has arrived. Satisfactory. Oh, I got some points taken off because I had an accident apparently. So I have completed that job. Unassigned skill points. Let's add it to that. Okay, so we have arrived in Calais. For our next episode, let's have a look at where we can go from Calais. Okay, so we're in Calais. Okay, Calais to Bremen, some cauliflower. Calais back to Cardiff, we won't be doing that one. Calais to Hamburg. Calais back to London. Calais to Rotterdam. Calais to Sheffield. Calais to Southampton. And that's it. So we'll probably stay in Europe. We'll probably do one of the German ones next week. Or next time anyway. I'm Simulated Erk. Thanks for watching. You can find all my other videos at simulatedurk.com. Follow me on Twitter at simulatedurk, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget, I don't know what to say for this bit yet. Good night. Happy trucking. Oh, hang on, I can't really say that.